on our YouTube channel. So give me just a second to get that set up. All right, I think we're live on the YouTube channel. If you're watching the YouTube replay, give a big shout out. We love that you guys are going back and watching previous videos. All right, so I wanted to do sort of an impromptu video tonight. I've got about an hour. And we've got, just in the past like 24 hours, I think we have about 300 new members that have joined the Facebook group. And I've gotten, I think, like 100 or so new subscribers on the YouTube channel. So there are a ton of new faces here. Hey, Dave, how's it going? I see Heather joined. What's up, Heather? That thing, Heather, that you were talking about, that actually sounded really interesting. I don't know anything about it, but if EE can like prep that all for you and send it right into Amazon, that would be awesome. So yeah, that sounds cool. But again, I don't know anything about it. I haven't done that myself. I think that's new. I haven't heard of them offering that in the past. Awesome. I see a couple people here. If you are just joining, let me know that you are here in the comments section. I've got YouTube over there on that screen and then Facebook over there on that screen. So we're live over here on both. Yeah, like I said, I just wanted to do sort of an impromptu Q&A session. We've got a ton of new members. So if you're a new member and you're just joining for the first time, I sort of wanted to introduce myself so you guys can sort of get to know who Nate is and all that stuff. So yeah. If you've got questions, go ahead and post them in the comment section. I've got a couple things that I was going to go over just to sort of get us into this impromptu Q&A session. I actually had a coaching call that rescheduled, which is fine because now I have an extra hour that I can spend with you guys. But yeah, we do have coaching sessions if you guys are interested in that. All right, so first off, I want to go over just a couple of the real basics. Since we have so many new members, so many people came over. I made a post in a Dave Ramsey group and then a Side Hustle group today, and both posts just exploded. So there's a lot of people that are new that probably haven't heard of Amazon. So just real quick, what we do is it's called Retail Arbitrage on Amazon through their FBA program. FBA stands for Fulfilled by Amazon. So basically, in a nutshell, what I do is I go to stores like Walmart, I go to stores like Kohl's, Target, TJ Maxx, places like that. I will buy things on clearance, sometimes not clearance, but usually clearance, and I will list them and then resell them back onto Amazon. I will put everything into one giant box or 50 giant boxes, and I will send all of those to the Amazon warehouse. Amazon will then store them, they'll organize them, they'll keep them, and when customers order it, Amazon is the one that does the fulfillment. That's the whole draw as far as this program works. I don't have time to be shipping out all of these orders myself. If I sell 100 things a day, I don't want to spend my whole day packing little tiny bags and shipping them out to 100 different customers. I want to pack one giant shipment, do it all at once on a Monday, and do nothing else the rest of the week. So FBA is really, really easily scalable because of that. There's not these big overhead charges. I don't need a warehouse. I don't need to have all these employees. So that's sort of what Amazon FBA is. My wife and I, Alicia, she's out right now, but my wife and I, Alicia, run these Hustle Buddies groups together with the help of an awesome mod team and an awesome admin team. So we've been running the group now about 2 months and it's exploded. I'm pretty sure I can safely claim that we're the fastest growing Amazon group on Facebook. We have almost 8,000 members and we've only had this group, I think we're on like 70 days or 80 days or something. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's like 100 members per day since we started, which is unheard of when groups are small like this. But yeah, we were teachers in the past. We taught public school. My wife taught first grade. I was a music teacher, and we didn't make enough to really, I mean, we could get by, but we didn't make enough to start a family. So we really wanted to start a family. So we started doing this on the side. We started with $100 and we just kept flipping that and flipping that and flipping that. We didn't pay ourselves for roughly 15 months. And then at that 15-month mark, we both quit our jobs, and with one single Amazon payout, we paid the down payment for our house, and now this is all we do full time. So yeah, it was a ton of work at the beginning, and it still is work. This isn't fast money. It's not easy money, but that's a good thing. If this was fast and easy, then everyone would do it, and then it wouldn't be good money. So yes, it's hard, but hard is good. I say that a lot. So yeah. All right. For those of you guys just joining us, this is just sort of an impromptu Q&A session. If you have questions that you want me to answer, feel free to drop them in the comment section or just say hi. Let me know that you are here and watching. All right. Let's see. We've got Dave, Brenna, Narrowway, Happy Health and Free, Kevin, Stay-at-home mom thing. I feel like that SAA stay-at-home mom things, I think you have watched every single one of my live videos. I don't remember a single live video I've done where you have not been in the chat. That's awesome. Kimlee, Marlene, Sandy. Hey, guys. Let's see. And then over on Facebook, we've got a bunch of people as well. That's awesome. We've got Amber, Heather, Maggie, Melanie, Deidre, Jessica. Hey guys, awesome seeing all of you here. So yeah, I had a coaching call that rescheduled, so I've got about an hour to do a Q&A session. So yeah, if you've got questions, drop them in the comment section below. I just went over a lot of the basics for our new members because we've had so many new members come through. So I wanted to sort of explain what Amazon was. We do have a lot of other videos, both on our Facebook group and then on our YouTube channel as well. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. It's over at youtube.com/c/hustlebuddies. And if you're not a part of our Facebook group, join that, facebook.com/groups/hustlebuddies. All right. So I wanted to go through a couple tips for scaling. For those of you who are already doing this and you're looking into Q4 and you're thinking, okay, how can I take this to the next level? First off, you really have to just get out there and source all the time. You have to learn the stores. So like the video I just did at Walmart, I went to actually 4 different Walmarts. 2 of the Walmarts, I filled an entire cart and there was more left over. And I could have gotten more, but I left. One of the Walmarts, I got some stuff, maybe like a quarter of a cart. And one Walmart, I got one thing. And then the checkout line was so long that I ended up just putting my cart back and not buying it because I didn't want to wait around for 20 minutes to check out. So sourcing, it's an acquired skill. It's not necessarily... a lot of people I've been seeing say things like, oh, the Kohl's in my town sucks, or oh, my Walmart needs to get better. And maybe that's true, but most likely it's like you need to put in some more practice and you need to learn some more places to search in the store and some more tricks and things like that to find some of these items. Especially with places like Kohl's. I've been to a lot of Kohl's and I've never once come out of a Kohl's without finding inventory, not a single time. So I would argue that there is not a single Kohl's that is a complete dud. Every once in a while, I might go through a Walmart and I don't want to spend my whole day there searching every single aisle. So I'll give you that maybe once in a while there's some Walmarts that aren't great, but places like Kohl's, there's never been a Kohl's that's been a dud. So yeah, keep scanning, keep learning some new tactics, keep practicing, and that's how you'll get better at this, and that's how you'll find more inventory. All right. Another big tip for scaling is to hire out some of the more menial tasks. So if you're buying stuff, for example, from Walmart, like let's say here's some baby wipes. Okay. If this was on clearance at Walmart, it would have one of those obnoxious yellow stickers. Well, that yellow sticker has to come off. You got to take it off somehow. But that's a really simple job. Like I could almost train my dog to do that. That is not a difficult task. So if you have kids, if your friends have high schoolers that need jobs, talk to them. That's super simple. You can pay people per unit. You can pay them per hour, whatever it is. But that's such a simple task that will speed up your listing and prepping process so much. I think we hired our first employees, but it's really just like high schoolers to take stickers off. I think we hired our first ones about 3 or 4 months into starting our Amazon journey. So yes, if you're just starting, don't do it yet because you yourself have to learn how to do everything. If you don't know how to do something front and back, then you can't really teach someone or hire someone else to do it for you. But once you do know how to do that and understand it, and you're starting to get going and your bottleneck is now becoming your time instead of your money, well, then start using some of your money to open up some more time for yourself. All right. So that's a big tip for scaling as well. And then another thing, when you're in stores, I went over this in our recent Walmart video, but really go out and search stuff by name. That's super, super, super important, especially when you're looking for replens or if you're looking for grocery stuff. Search, like if I'm trying to find this, what is this called? unscented non-perfume. That's not what it's called. That's not what it's called. Wow, this doesn't have a noticeable brand. Whoever made these, you did a terrible job of branding this. Lil Boo Kiddo. That sounds like a poorly done private label. Anyways, I would search Lil Kid something or other non-scented perfume wipes or something and see if I can find a picture that matches what I have. Because maybe the UPC didn't pull anything up, or maybe the UPC pulled something up, but it was ranked really poorly. So that happens frequently, especially with candy. Like I'll scan a bag of, let's say, Starburst, and I scan it and it pulls up as like 1 million. I know that Starburst is popular. I know that this bag is not ranked 1 million in grocery. So maybe I'll say it by name, Starburst, whatever that particular flavor is, Starburst Pinks or something. And that'll oftentimes pull up a better version of the item, or it'll pull up multi-packs, maybe the Starburst Pinks 2-pack, Starburst Pinks 3-pack, or Starburst Pinks with favorites with the sours all bundled together. So you'll find some great stuff by searching by name. All right. All right. If you just joined, welcome, guys. I'm doing a live video over on our Facebook group and then over on our YouTube as well. This is just going to be sort of an impromptu Q&A session. So if you have questions, write them in the comment section. I have about another 30-ish minutes. So if you have enough questions to fill 30 minutes, I will be here for 30 minutes answering your guys' questions. All right. Next store. I wrote myself notes, and I'm so scatterbrained that I don't even understand what my own note says. So this is a reminder. Next store. I don't know what I'm trying to tell myself, but that is my note to myself. Next store. All right, let me go through some of these questions. I'm over on YouTube right now. If you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, if you guys could do that, it would help us a lot. We actually just hit over 100,000 subscribers, which is huge. I only started like actively posting YouTube videos, I think about a month ago. So that's phenomenal. We really appreciate all you guys over there. Hello, watching from Tampa. Oh, that's pretty close to us. We're over in Orlando, the west side of Orlando, so really close to Tampa. How do I make this larger? All right. Dave, sourcing for some OA currently. Awesome. Yeah. We don't do as much OA as we should. I just love the thrill of the hunt, like being in store. Yeah, I just put my headphones in. I'm in the zone. It's what I enjoy. It's not that RA or OA. There's one that's better than the other. It's just I just enjoy RA. But that's great, man. Kevin got his EE account approved. Awesome. Yeah, that's a huge step into like getting ungated in toys and all that stuff. Sandy says, Nate, I know you mentioned you started with 100, but how much more money did you reinvest to scale? We just kept reinvesting that 100. At the 12-month mark, Amazon, if your sales are over, I want to say it's like 10,000 a month or something like that, and you have an LLC and you've been selling on Amazon for over 12 months, Amazon themselves will actually start offering you business loans that are backed by your inventory. It's not personally guaranteed. It has no effect on my credit. It has no effect on me as a person. It's only backed by my business and the inventory. So if I default on the loan, they'll just take all my inventory. So at the 12-month mark, we did take more, but in those first 12 months, we had done, I think it was like 180,000 in sales. And that was just with 100 and the random stuff around our house and just reinvesting. I didn't pay myself anything. I didn't take any money out. If I made $100, I took the original and then spent the extra 100. So I would spend 200. And then like every 2 weeks to a month, I was doubling my money. So we grew super fast. Marlene, no wonder Rolo was sold out. 8,000 members. You know, so here's the thing, Marlene. I would like to think that 8,000 members from our Facebook group used our affiliate link to buy a Rolo. But sadly, last time I checked, 24 people, a whopping 24 people had used our Rolo affiliate link to get a Rolo, which was a little bit depressing with how much I've talked about it, but that's okay. I think the Amazon affiliate program, they give you like 1% or something. So I'm making like $1 for each of those. But yeah, no, we didn't sell 8,000 Rolos. We sold in the 20s. Kimley, I started with a personal account about a month ago. If I switch to the professional account, is it pretty seamless? Yeah, it's super seamless. You just upgrade, and you don't have to restart or anything like that. It's all connected. You just upgrade, and then you get charged less fees. Yeah. Sean or Shawnee McMillan. Hey, how's it going? Sandy, did you ever pay to get ungated in a brand? No. 99% of the programs that you pay to get ungated in a brand, what they do is they will take a generic invoice from a company and they will Photoshop your company's name and information into it. That is very against the rules. You may or may not pass Amazon's initial check to actually get ungated. If you don't pass, you will be immediately kicked off of Amazon. If you do pass, and anyone else who ever uses that same company gets flagged and kicked off, then everyone who used that company will also get flagged and kicked off at the same time. So 99% of the time when people are talking about paying to get ungated in brands or categories, they're doing some shady stuff that I don't recommend. There's 1% where it's a legitimate service where they're sort of holding your hand and walking you through it and telling you the companies to go to, but that's very rare. It's rare enough that we find there's a big need for that in the market, and we're actually in the works for talking to someone about offering something like that, but doing it the right way, where we're not photoshopping things, we're not giving you an invoice, where we're taking you to the company, we're helping you set everything up and doing that whole process with you and showing you how to do it. So yeah, that's a great question, Sandy. And you will eventually get ungated in almost everything after certain sort of sale quotas. I have a friend, he's been selling about, I want to say 8 months now. And he's doing 10 to 20,000 per month. And he just sort of got like the floodgates opened for him, and just about everything he was applying for, he was getting ungated. And like he got Under Armour and Adidas and all those really big brands automatically. Do you have private label products as well? Currently, I don't, Sandy. Sort of a different beast that I didn't really want to tackle. I enjoy RA a lot. It's working for me. I'm not working a ton of hours. I'm making good money, so I'm happy with where I'm at. I may get some private label products in the future. I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just like my current business model works really well for me, and so I have a hard time justifying changing things around. Dave, RA is more fun, definitely, but OA is easier than taking 4 kids to Walmart. Yes, I can believe that, Dave. Yeah, if you watched the Walmart video, you saw my baby's head in a couple of them because I had to take him with me for a couple of those trips. Narrowway, I think is a good idea. I think a good idea would be to do a descriptive step-by-step process for those people who have no experience in this. I watched the video you recommend, but it's so packed that it put me in paralysis. Narrowway, are you talking about like our long, like here's how we made 7 figures on Amazon, or are you talking about our beginners webinar? Because we do have a beginners webinar that it just went off sale, but it's like the price of a movie ticket or 2 movie tickets. And it breaks down like do step A, do step B, do step C, do step D. And we tried to make it really, really simple and compact for the people that are feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Now, all the information is available, like where I'm upfront about that. I'm not revealing some big secrets, but I tried to organize it and give you really actionable, like do this, then that, then that, then that. So Narrowway, if you're watching this and you're feeling lost, definitely check that out. It's in the announcements tabs over in the Facebook group where we talk about that. Or you can find it at our internet site, hustlebuddies.com. It's under webinars. There's like a beginners webinar section on hustlebuddies.com. Janet, I was scanning today but came across scissors that were restricted because of pesticides. Do you let them know something is wrong? No. So those are flagged as pesticides because of the plastic, like the chemical that's used in the plastic there. It's some weird law. But basically, just do the pesticide thing on Amazon. It'll take you like 30 minutes. You have to watch a bunch of videos and click, yeah, I understand that this is what a pesticide is. And then once you're done, then you're approved for pesticides. Marlene, how can you get around splitting boxes to different locations? Send more stuff. That's the biggest thing. Yep, send more stuff and it'll get split less. In general, if you send, there's sort of a magic number of 18. If you send 18 of something, it'll all go to the same place. But I know that's not always possible. And I don't usually recommend people go deep on something and buy 18 of stuff. But since you asked, send more stuff. That's how you get stuff to not be split. And Sandy, what's your recommendation? Outsourcing Prep Center over Sorcery Lister? A Prep Center, I would say only use a Prep Center if you're doing OA. If you're doing RA, then a Prep Center doesn't make any darn sense. And you should be bringing people into your house or into your garage or your warehouse, whatever you work out of, you should be bringing people into you. All right, I'm going to pop over to the Facebook thread to see if anybody had comments in there. Again, if you are just joining, I've got about 15 or so minutes. So if you do have questions, feel free to write them here. I know we had a ton of new members, so I wanted to do sort of like a Q&A for people. At the beginning of this video, I talked about sort of the basics of like what Amazon is, what we do, where we came from. For those who are new to the group or new to our our YouTube channel. But yes, drop comments below, and I will be answering them for as long as you guys have them. Ben Gudner, those coaching calls are gold. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, we appreciate that a lot. We really enjoy the coaching calls. If you guys are interested in coaching calls, let me know. Shoot. Most likely it'll be more effective to go to the website, actually, instead of messaging me, because a lot of my messages go to my other folder because I get like 200 messages a day, and I don't usually look through all the spam folder things on Facebook. But if you go to hustlebuddies.com, there is a tab for coaching calls. You can go in there and sign up for one if you are interested. Let's see, Maggie. First outside software purchase, Keepa, Inventory Lab, or something else? I would say it depends on sort of what you're selling. If you're selling mostly clothing, I would go with Inventory Lab. If you're selling mostly grocery, I'll go with Keepa. The reason I say that is because Keepa doesn't work as well for clothing, because usually Keepa will just show the parent listing. And so if you have a bra that's like the black size 34B, it's going to show the white, black, cream, pink, blue, purple, and it's going to show A, B, C, D. It's going to show 32, 34, 36, 38. It's going to show all of those all lumped together. So the data isn't quite as exact with Keepa in regards to clothing. So if you're doing a lot of clothing, I would go with Inventory Lab. If you are doing a lot of grocery, I would probably go with Keepa. But with that said, you sort of have to analyze where your time is being spent more. Like, are you having a more difficult time in store deciding if something is a good buy? If so, then Keepa is going to be the right route. Are you spending more time at home listing stuff and you have a big headache and it's like, oh my gosh, this takes forever to list and scan stuff in? If that's sort of your pain point, then get Inventory Lab. So there's not really a wrong answer there. They're both fantastic. Yeah. Melanie Gomez, hey, how's it going? Deidre, hey. Heather, will I be able to get ungated in toys since it is Q4? Yes, you can. Not sure if they limit what people can do since it's the hot season. I can't remember if I read. No, you can get ungated in Q4. That it's not really affected. What you can't do is you can't merchant fulfill during Q4. If you're asking this question and if you're confused about what I'm saying, you can't sell merchant fulfilled during Q4 because you were not invited. If you understand what I'm saying, then you are probably allowed to do that. Yeah. Jessica, hey. Jessica has been a huge help pretty much every time that I post in like any of these groups. Somehow she's in like all the same groups that I am, and she always gives us a little shout out. So that's awesome, Jessica. We really appreciate that. Samira, hey, how's it going? Lori, hi. What are your must-have apps or online tools? Lori, we actually have a whole video series that not series, but we have a whole video that we did on this. You can find it on our YouTube channel. If you just go to youtube.com/c/hustlebuddies and go to our different videos, you'll see like the must-have tools. There's also a file section in the Facebook group, and under the file section, we write every single one of the tools that we use and the apps that we use. So the big ones, Inventory Lab is huge. Keepa is huge. Yeah, those are, as far as like apps or online tools, Inventory Lab and Keepa. But just general tools, there's a lot of things that are listed. Yeah. James, hey man. Diana, hey, how's it going? Daniel Pennington, how's it going, man? Are you? I think you're still in Chile, unless you moved back. Melanie Gomez, how do I start? If I found a product to list in Amazon, how do I send it to Amazon? So we've done a number of videos about this. Basically, you'll open up Seller Central. You'll scan or type in the UPC of that item. That item will pop up. If it doesn't pop up, as a beginner, I would say pass and like return it to the store or give it to somebody else. But if it pulls up, then you can list it. You'll list, if it's new, you'll list what price you want to sell it at. You'll list how many you have, and you'll list if you want Amazon to fulfill it or if you are going to fulfill it as the merchant. We always do Amazon. That's FBA. It's FBA and FBM, fulfilled by merchant. It's the other option. We personally always do Amazon, but there's not like a wrong choice. It's just your choice. Let's see. A couple more people joined. Welcome, guys. Kim McKay, will you keep this up for replay later? Yes, absolutely. This will be available on replay. Most likely, it's going to be easiest to find the replay on our YouTube channel. Stuff kind of gets buried in the Facebook group because there's so many people that are posting, which is great. But with that said, it's a little bit harder to find some of my like replays and things like that on the Facebook group. And I'm simultaneously casting this. I have YouTube over here and I've got Facebook over there. So I'm looking at both places. So if you're looking for the replay, it's going to be better to find this replay on the YouTube channel. Diana, she's answering somebody else's question, which is awesome. Yeah, that's one thing that we've loved about the Facebook group is as we've like taught people things, then other people are reaching back and helping others. And that's perfect. I mean, that's how we started. Like we started because there were people that were making content and people showing videos, people I was even running into at stores that would give me little tips, give me ideas for things. So yes, that's how I started. I reached back. I wanted to give other people free info, help other people along. And I hope that some of you guys feel inspired and do the same. So if you do know the correct answer to something, then absolutely feel free to chime in and help the next person out. Courtney, I read somewhere that grocery needs an actual invoice versus a receipt. Is that true? That is false. Yeah. Replying to Melanie Bend, I'd say watch every YouTube video on Hustle Buddies. There's like 5 or 6 videos that'll help a ton. Yeah, if you're curious about like the packing and prepping, stuff like that, we've done a bunch of videos about like that listing process that you'll see. Might even, I'm gonna pin that. I guess that's only one thing. All right, these videos are really helpful. How do you direct people to your Amazon store? I don't have to. Your Amazon store is, I would say it's almost useless. Like I would share it if my mom is curious. But then the thing is, like if my mom wants to go to my store to buy something from me, I'm going to say, Mom, just go to Walmart and buy the thing for a quarter of the price and then donate the extra 20 bucks that you're saving to me directly. Like if your family really wants to support you, tell them to just buy it cheaper and then send you the money difference. So then you're not paying fees on stuff. It doesn't really make sense to direct people to your store. Customers don't look for Amazon stores. Like if I'm on Amazon, I'll go to Amazon.com and let's say I want to buy whatever this no-name brand of wipes is. Man, I really don't know what this brand is. I'm gonna assume that it's the Honest brand. That's Alicia's really big on like Honest diapers and Honest baby stuff. I think it's like a Target thing, but so let's just say this is Honest brand wipes. I'm gonna go to Amazon.com and type in Honest brand baby wipes, and I'm gonna click on that first option. I'm gonna see it's about 10 bucks, and I'm gonna click buy it now. I don't look who's selling it. I don't look through that person's store. There's not really a good functional way to do that. That's not how Amazon is set up. Amazon isn't set up to promote a storefront. Amazon is set up more for you to like almost stock their shelf. So I found my product. I'm going to click buy it now. And whoever has the buy box at that exact time for me is the person who will get credited with that sale. So your own storefront doesn't really matter. It's not like Poshmark or Mercari or those other places where you're sort of trying to build like a whole store. It's not like that at all. James O-Town Reppin'. About the ranking. Will most items have multiple lists with different rankings? No, most items only have one listing and therefore one ranking. Sometimes, like with grocery, for example, you'll find, let's say, candy. So I'll use Starburst as an example because we've sold a lot of Starbursts in the past. So Starbursts, they're like pink. It's like a spring edition or something. They've got the Starburst pink flavors. If you scan it, it might pull up the original and then like 3 or 4 other variations. And that's all other people trying to create their own listings and rank it differently. It's a little bit tricky. For the most part, items will only have one listing, though. If they have multiple, you really have to dig through to figure out why there's different ones. And then it's important that you don't list on one that's incorrect. For example, maybe there is like the Starburst thing, and one is listed in grocery and one is listed under computer or something. Well, the one that's listed on a computer, that's wrong. Someone's trying to get around some sort of gating issue or something else, and I would not list on that. So yeah. Jessica, when you scan something that has variations and Keepa shows that the results are of the parent, how do you determine if the results are good? It's a tough question. There are ways to do it, but there's not easy ways to do it. Yeah, you can view like reviews. Basically, what you have to do is go in and see which styles were reviewed the most, and that's how you can sort of extrapolate that data. That's sort of a pain, and for the most part, I'm not going to say impossible to do it by hand, but it's not really plausible to do it yourself. You really have to pay for a program that'll do that for you, and that's an extra cost, and I wouldn't worry about it. What I will say is, if you have something like, let's say you have a bra and it's ranked 10,000, but there's like 10 different colors. Well, that's still probably pretty good. Yes, there's a lot of variations, but it's ranked well enough that even your obscure thing should be selling. And then in conjunction with that, I also say never go deep, always go wide. If you're only buying 1 or 2 of an item, that in and of itself really mitigates a lot of the risk about, oh, what if this doesn't sell? Because most things will sell a little bit. So if you only have 1 or 2, you should be fine. That should sell within 12 months. But that's a great question, Jessica. Kimberly over on Facebook asks, do you think location plays a role in this? We live in a small town and have very little success finding profitable items in our area. I don't think location plays a role into what you can find. I think big towns have more stores, which is great, but they also have more resellers. Orlando, and well, Central Florida in general, New York, I think Brooklyn, and then there's a city in Los Angeles are the top 3 cities. There's a really cool site. Shoot, what is it called? Seller Pulse, Amazon Pulse, something Pulse. But basically, they just released this article about like the cities with the most sellers in them, and Orlando's in like the top 3 or something like that. So yes, I do have more stores here, but I have way more resellers. And so it sort of balances out. If you're in I grew up in Indiana, so I'm going to say if you live in Podunk, Indiana, in some random place out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of some cornfields, you won't have as many stores, but the stores that you do have will have more stuff and you won't have as much competition. So I feel like it all balances out. We've been to a lot of different places and that's been the case for us. A bunch more people joined. I see Andel, Ellie, Fami, Kara, Aunt Nancy's here. Hey guys. How do you get ungated under food, grocery, or toys? Food and grocery, you're not gated in anymore. If you're watching a video that talks about that video is very outdated. Grocery was gated when I started, but it's been about 2 years since that was the case. So food and grocery is not a gated category. Toys is, but you can search the group. We've done a couple videos about getting ungated in toys specifically. If you see people talk about EE, those 2 letters, that is what they're using to get ungated in toys. Shelly, I'm trying to find the free fanfold UPS labels that I'm on the website. They only have the 8.5 by 11 sheets. So the 8.5 by 11 sheets, that's what you'll see if you're on like the normal customer side of UPS. You have to actually set up a business UPS account. It is free, but their site is just garbage. Oh, we can't stand UPS. Unfortunately, that's who we have to use. Anyways, you'll have to sign up for a business account under UPS. Once you have an official business account with them, then you can order the fanfold 4x6 labels. There was a thread in that, Shelly, on the Facebook group. If you search like UPS business account, that should get you into the right thread location if you're searching on Facebook. Ashley, time is a hot commodity. Do you have tips for moving from RA to more OA? Tips from RA to OA is you're going to have to spend more money. I'll say 95-ish, maybe more, % of the people who do OA seriously are using programs that scrape data off of websites. And those programs are very pricey. So if you're not in a place where you can afford like $100 a month for a subscription like that, then I would avoid OA. If you are in a place that you can do that, then great. I would look, tactical arbitrage is pretty much the golden standard as far as OA goes. In probably after Q4, once our members are sort of getting more into the intermediate level, we'll start talking about things like tactical arbitrage. So I'm going to take a step back for a second. Our group is very new. It's only about 3 months old. And most of our members, not all of them, but most of them are new to Amazon. So I want to give people information in chunks. So I might not talk about something that doesn't necessarily mean I don't recommend it. Like we use a repricer that costs $500 a month. Now I don't ever recommend that to people because people in our group aren't at that level yet. And so I'm trying to give people manageable chunks of information. It's like you don't teach a kindergartner what sound a G makes, and then you teach them neighbor and night and sigh and like all these all these weird words that are exceptions to the rules. So for now, I don't really talk too much about that. But after Q4, probably going into the New Year's, we'll do some things. Tactical arbitrage, if you're looking it up for yourself, is the name of the program that you would use. Sherry, how hard is it in topicals? That's when people say how hard is it to get ungated, that's a tough question to answer because like everything is equal difficulty. You just get an invoice, and an invoice is an invoice is an invoice. Like if you can find an invoice for toys, you can find an invoice for topicals, and it's like there's not something that's more difficult or less difficult, with a very, very few exceptions. Like something like Nike, for example, is very difficult because Nike doesn't officially offer like wholesale things. So you have to get creative with that. But for the most part, like categories as a whole, they're all equal. It's not like a level of difficulty. It's just, you just find a wholesaler that has topicals and buy from them. But that is a good question, Sherry. Eric, hey, what's up, man? Thank you, Dana. Ashley asks, also big thank you. Oh, she's not asking. Big thank you for you and your active participation in this not so small growing group, right? Yeah, we never expected. We started this group, I want to say about 80 days ago. I don't know if that's the right count, but roughly 80 days, I think. We've got almost 8,000 members. That like blows my mind. And everyone is super helpful. We felt like really the reason we started the whole group was we're a part of a lot of Amazon Facebook groups, but for the most part, they get really like negative and jaded over time. And it makes sense. Like when new people come in, they always ask the same questions. And it gets really easy to just get like snippy and sarcastic and sort of like talking down to people. So we saw that a lot in other groups, and we felt like there was a real need for more like uplifting and positive community interactions when it came to like growing Facebook and learning about Facebook from your peers. So we try to do a good job at keeping like the snark to a minimum in the group. It does come out every once in a while. Even I'm guilty of it. Sometimes I have long days and people ask questions that are a little on the repetitive side, but for the most part, we try to keep everything positive. And that's really sort of like the core to why we made Hustle Buddies, just a positive place to grow. Let's see, Sanja, I don't know. All right, Sanja asks, I don't know what records to keep except for a box of receipts. I'm not using Inventory Lab yet. What do you recommend to get started in paperwork? What I recommend is like an Excel sheet where you track all of your buy costs. Just for your own peace of mind, it makes things a lot easier when you're selling stuff or repricing stuff, then you understand what you paid. So an Excel sheet, if you're not using Inventory Lab. And for receipts, I would use, don't just keep a box of receipts because that's going to be a pain to go through later. I would scan them in. If you have a printer, like my home printer, it has it sort of has a scanning function. So you can sort of like chop a receipt into 8.5-inch sections and put it in there. Or you can download, there's a lot of free apps on your phone where you can, it's like scan to PDF or something like that, where you can just like sort of do almost like a panorama picture of a receipt, and your phone will save that as a PDF. That's what I would recommend as far as keeping good records. Yeah, food items and sales rank, important or not so much? I mean, sales rank is equally important for every category and equally not important for every category. Sales ranks will change every 15 minutes. So if this can of LaCroix right now is ranked 50,000, by the time I'm done with this video, it might be ranked 150,000. So sales rank is just a snapshot of like this exact moment in time. Where does that item rank in that whole entire category? What I will say with food items is that Keepa is very important for food items because it's so accurate. Because usually there's not like parent listings and things like that. And I can see like seasonally, historically, what the sales ranks have been. So I did a video, it's over on YouTube, of how to read a Keepa chart. It's very simple. Like once you understand it, Keepa is very simple to use and easy to use. And it's just so powerful because you can see the changes in rank, and that indicates when a sale was made. So yeah. Let's see. I'm going to pop over to YouTube and answer a few of these questions. Janet, I was scanning today and came across, oh, I answered that one. Let's see. David on YouTube asks, you said on one post that Levi's is locked down altogether. Are there any other brand? Most of it's done automatically. That's part of what you pay Amazon for. So they handle the returns. If Amazon gets a return and they deem that it's resellable, they will just put it back on the shelf. Some people, oh no, poor wireless connection. Your video has been paused. Give me just a second, guys. Check. I think I'm so good on YouTube. Maybe someone can post on the Facebook wall that YouTube is still up. I don't know why Facebook disconnected me, but YouTube did not. So I'm going to keep answering you guys over here on YouTube. Sorry to all the folks on Facebook. Should have come over to YouTube. It's the better place to be. Okay, so yeah, Kevin, Amazon will restock those. Some people like to change that option so Amazon sends you all of the returns no matter what the condition is. That's sort of up to you to decide. There's great arguments on both sides of it. We personally let Amazon relist most of the stuff, and I haven't really had any issues with it, but I know a lot of people who have everything returned to them because they're a little more worried that Amazon will make a mistake, which they can. Marlene, why do Keepa and Seller Central sometimes have different buy box? Keepa and Sellers, I don't. Keepa, you're looking, I think you're misinterpreting something. Kevin, also, I saw in Inventory Lab, which I don't have, that it shows you the buy cost, money after sale, your profit once. Yes, there is a way in Inventory Lab to see your total in-stock valuation. That's part of Inventory Lab as well, which is a fantastic tool. Kevin Scott, Amazon ? I'm not sure what you mean. Diva, I missed it. You can go back and watch the replay, Diva. It's all on YouTube. Facebook still is not connecting. I wonder if I refresh this page, if it's going to. Oh, should I do it, guys? Should I do it? I'm gonna try it. I'm refreshing the Facebook page. Let's see if the live video comes back, or if it just ends it right there. Brianna, you disconnected during Levi's. Yeah, so Levi's is like completely locked down. There's not even an apply button for that. So yeah, some other brands are similar. Oh, well, it says I'm live now. Am I live? Oh, this is real confusing. I don't know if I'm live on Facebook. It says that I am, but it's on like a 10-minute delay. So I'm not really sure. If you're watching this on Facebook, I would recommend going over to YouTube because I'm going to get really confused looking back and forth now. All right. Let's see. I see Black Magic on YouTube asks, I don't really have a lot of things to list around the house, starting with about $200 budget. What areas, types of inventory would you recommend to start with as a newbie, being gated in most things? What I tell people is books, bras, and grocery are 3 really easy categories to get into because there's very, very few gated restrictions in those categories. There are some, but compared to other areas, you're going to run into less frustrations there. So I recommend going to like Goodwill and looking through their books. Or if you see like college students getting rid of old textbooks, offer to pay the money for it. Go to, there's a few minutes delay on Facebook and it's glitchy. Yeah, I recommend going over to YouTube then. Sorry if you're watching on Facebook. There's nothing I can do. This is a Facebook problem. But yeah, so I would recommend like used books. For bras, go to Kohl's, go to Macy's, places like that, TJ Maxx, Ross, Marshalls. And for grocery, any place, Walmart, Target, mom and pop shops. If you live down south, Publix. If you live up north, Kroger, Martin's, places like that are good. This is Aaron Albright, by the way. Hey, what's up, Aaron? Jumping back and forth. There's a few minutes delay. Yeah, sorry. Can I write off plane ticket, hotel, car rental if I go out of state to source? Yeah, I would. I mean, obviously, you should talk to an accountant about things like tax related. But in general, if you have a legitimate business and you have legitimate business expenses, you can write pretty much everything off. We actually pay. We don't pay very much in taxes because of how many things we can write off. Books, bras, and grocery, thanks. I checked Kohl's the other day and it looked like a hurricane came through. Yeah, that'll happen sometimes. All right, that's all the questions I see on YouTube. Once you leave, you can never come back. Yeah, I don't know how to see. I'm so sorry. If you are on Facebook and you posted some questions, I can no longer read those questions. I am still over on YouTube. I've got another like 5 minutes if people ask more questions. But yeah, sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Books, bras, unable to connect. They both disconnected. All right. Well, I think that's it, guys. I think that's a sign. I've been disconnected from all of my chats. If you are still watching, thank you so much for continuing.